Hey guys, it's Alana here with the Sports Center to bring you another recipe. This recipe is not a healthy recipe. It's okay, right? So it's one of our family favorites. It was given to me and shown to me by my sister's ex-husband's mom. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but I am Armenian. I'm 3/4 Armenian, 1/4 French. And so this is a traditional Armenian dish. And it varies throughout the regions of Armenia, but this is the one that I learned. And so I'm going to walk you through it. It's called cheese boreg. You don't have to pronounce it, but it's really good. It uses whole milk mozzarella cheese. It uses puff pastry sheets. It has parsley in it, salt, pepper, and egg noodles. Okay, so it's really super simple. I'm gonna walk you through it. I know you're gonna love it. It's okay to have a treat once in a while, and this is one of those recipes that you'll want to enjoy with your family. And it makes a big pan. So anyhow, so let's do it. All right, so as I've mentioned, this isn't like one of those wicked healthy recipes. It's not that it's really bad for you, but if you're totally on track for a goal, this may not be what you want to eat. But there's a lot of cheese in it. There's a lot of noodles in it. It's got the puff pastry. So anyhow, but it's a great recipe. And anyhow, this is how it goes. So you've got 2 blocks of this whole milk mozzarella cheese. And basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut it in even little cubes, okay? So what I do, if you can see, I cut first these slices, okay? About like that, and I pile them up. So I cut these slices here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna cut them lengthwise again. Okay, they're stacked on top of each other, and then I'm going to cut them into cubes. Okay, real simple way of getting the cubes to be the right size. And so I'm going to go through that, and I'm going to go ahead and get all of these cubes cut up and thrown into a bowl. And my daughter, while I was at work, already did some of them, so that was helpful. Okay, so anyway, a little background information, just maybe some history. So my paternal grandfather came over from Armenia after the Turkish massacre, the genocide. If you're not familiar with it, in 1915, the Turks tried to eliminate the Armenians. And my grandfather's family was murdered by the Turks, and he got away through various ways. He survived and came over to America, started a dry cleaning business with his uncle, I believe. Anyway, real interesting history. So that's where I get the Armenian from. And then of course my mother's side, my mother's French, but she married an Armenian man. So anyhow, so we weren't raised in a real traditional Armenian family, but we did eat a lot of the foods, attend some of the churches and stuff like that. And my dad's parents spoke the language and lived that life from the genocide. So just a little background information. My dad's family is Armenian. So like his father came over from Armenia after the Turkish massacre in 1915, after it killed his family. My grandfather found his way to America. And we weren't raised in a traditional Armenian home, but we were surrounded by the traditional Armenian traditions. So at the church, the foods, etc. On my dad's side of the family. My mom's mom was French and married an Armenian man. So that's where the quarter French comes in. But anyhow, so real interesting history that my grandfather had shared with us growing up and over the years. There's a movie out, it's called The Promise, and it's real similar to my grandfather's story, and I recommend you guys watching that. But anyhow, as I said, this recipe came from my sister's ex-husband's side of the family. And so I've got my cheese all cut up in these little cubes. So that's the first step, okay? You need to go ahead and get 2 bags of wide egg noodles and go ahead and cook those up. Salt your water real well. Cook your egg noodles. So again, this can be done ahead of time. I did it last night. So I've got my bag of egg noodles. And then you need to work on cutting up your parsley. So let's go. So I think I mentioned in one of the other videos that I've made about parsley and the stems, and how finicky the Armenians can be when it comes to not having stems in their food. Traditionally, a lot of parsley is used in Armenian dishes. Like if you think about tabbouleh, it's mostly all parsley, some tomatoes, olive oil, lemon juice. So anyway, so I work this parsley. I take the leaves off, the stems, the best that I can. And you don't have to be that particular. It's just habit now. So you want to use the whole thing of parsley. It's gonna seem like a lot of parsley, and if you don't like parsley, well then, this ain't for you. So you wanna go ahead and use the whole bunch. And then I'm gonna show you how to cut it. I think I've gone over this before, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. So truly with the parsley and any herbs, you wanna get them all bunched up, okay? Get them all bunched up. Let me get a good knife. This is my favorite knife to cut. So get your herbs all bunched up. And then you're gonna run the back of your knife through them, okay? Moving your fingers out of the way. Don't look away. I'm quite used to cutting, but if you're not, don't look away. And just inching your fingers away from it as you cut. You want this to be really finely minced. So you're just gonna do it a couple times. Again, getting your fingers out of the way. Now, you can also do it this way, once it's somewhat cut up, and just run your knife through it like that. So, give it a good chopperoo. Get it going, and you'll see it's all set. So I'm gonna finish chopping up this parsley. It's interesting. So I think about some of the foods and some of the dishes that my grandmother on my dad's side taught me, and she did teach me quite a bit. She was always in the kitchen. I mean, you think about a typical Armenian woman, always in the kitchen. Just, you know, in her robe, or in her, what do they call it? House bathrobe. I can't even think of the word, but I can picture her now. She passed away in '95. But anyway, have great memories of her and going to their house. My grandfather, he was a very loving grandfather, but very much affected by his experience. You knew he loved you, but what I remember is a very traditional grandfather. Yeah, so a man of few words, but interestingly enough, to just give you another bit of history, when I always remember him writing in these journals growing up, like these wire-bound, wide-ruled kind of journals. I always remember him writing them. Long story short, he wrote his story, and over the years, my brother has worked on getting those translated, and it tells the story of how he got here and what the war looked like, or the massacre, it's really fascinating. And so as an adult, as I listen and I read that and I learn more about what happened and what he went through, I really have a better understanding of who he was and why he was the way he was. But man, he did love his family. So anyhow, I'm just getting the rest of this parsley out off the stem, chopping it up. I try and share with my kids, well, my daughter mostly, these recipes between this one and homemade cheese that I've learned to make over the years as well, because they're so important. They're so important to our heritage and our traditions and our family, and passing on these great recipes. I'm excited to show you guys the cheese one. So anyhow, my parsley is all set. I'm gonna set that aside and we're gonna go on. All right, here we are. So I've got the puff pastry sheets. They come 2 to a pack, okay? And you need both of them. And they are in the frozen section near like the ice cream treats and stuff like that. So anyways, you need to have a little bit of flour, okay? And you need to go ahead and put that onto your surface here. It's like playing with Play-Doh. It's so much fun. Anyway, so, okay, it's got to be the size of this pan. Sorry, my eggs are on there. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll it out to the size of that pan. So you're just gonna carefully work the dough to that measurement. I don't even know what the measurement is, but I've done this so many times. I just roll it out and kind of size it up. So, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So once I know, I bring the pan over here and I put it on top of the dough to see if it's going to cover the length of it that way. So the depth, however you're looking at it. And then now we want to make it long, okay? So it's going to go, and it's going to go on the bottom of this pan. Okay, so you want to roll this dough out real carefully, real evenly. Start from the middle and go out. You might have to go this way a little bit. Really got to work that dough to get the bottom layer. So then again, see, you can see it's coming. And I tend to flip it and toss it around and all that good stuff. So then I take my pan again. I kind of give a rough measurement. Still need to keep going. And you'll think, oh my gosh, well, it's gonna be so thin. It's not, it's a puff pastry dough. It's gonna be just fine. So once you get that rolled out, I'll show you what to do next. So keep working your dough. From the center, you'll see it's a little thicker. And again, now bring this forward, lay it onto your dough, and you'll have an idea of how much more you need to roll it out. So I'm gonna work on that and you do the same. Okay, I typically spray my pan just real quick. I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but I would hate to go through all of this and have it stick. So then you want to take your dough and place it onto your pan. This is where you're gonna have to stretch and mold it a little bit, okay? So it's real pliable. So go ahead and pull it to the sides so it's creeping up the side just a bit, okay, on all 4 sides. So make sure it's creeping up just a bit, and you'll know why when it's all said and done. So here you go. See, it's up on the sides here. Love it. Okay, so here we go. So now your noodles, okay? Because I did 2, no, this is a bag and a half, actually. This is a bag and a half. You're not gonna need all that. I would actually even say, if you got 1 bag of, well, I don't know. do a bag and a half of wide noodles, wide egg noodles. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Yeah, I think we'll do the whole bag. I'm gonna leave a little bit in here because I'm gonna make some noodles for Devin. So I'm gonna leave a little in here so I have dinner. Gosh, he's the pickiest kid ever. He has like 5 things that he eats. Anyhow, so, but I think it'd be good to have like a bag and a half of the egg noodles. Okay, so put that aside. Now, get a separate bowl and you're gonna eat 2 eggs into your bowl, okay? Now, again, as I've said in the past, you can do this with your hands or a fork, whatever you wanna do. Break the yolk. I do it with my hands and give it a good little stir. Now, you're also gonna want some salt, okay? So you're gonna salt your noodles a bit. So probably about a teaspoon or 2, okay? All right, so get those salty. Now, you've got your egg mixture. Pour your 2 eggs right on into here. All right, and with your hands, again, you're gonna mix that up. Okay, so get that all in there. Now, next you're gonna take your cheese. You've got egg hands, so I just kind of lift it, and you're gonna drop your cheese in there. Now, I also, this is 2 of those blocks of whole milk. I also leave a little bit for my kids to chomp on. So now mix that all up in there, okay? Get everything mixed in. Nice, break the cheese cubes up if they're sticking together. Get all that in there. All right, next, you want to take your parsley. Wicked easy, right? Dump that in there, that's it. So easy, and this is so pretty. Okay. Get all that, and then you want to go ahead and put a little bit of pepper in there. Gotta find it. I gotta wash my hands. So we'll do a little bit of pepper, and I'll meet you back here. All right, so got it all mixed up. I put probably about a teaspoon or 2 of pepper. Again, I'm sorry, I don't really have the measurements, but I'll find them. But anyway, so real simple. Now you just want to pour it into your pan, okay? So get that in there, and then toss that aside. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and evenly put it into the pan. So just squish it down. Make sure it gets to all the corners. Break up some big cubes of cheese if you can. Kind of organize it. I like to do that. I don't know. It's like playing with your food as a kid. I don't know. So let's go. Here we go. Okay, so that's in there. Looks good. Make sure you get your corners. Mush the noodles around. It looks wicked good. It looks like really perfect portions. So, okay. Put it aside for a minute. I gotta wash my hands. All right, next thing, again, flour on your surface. Round 2, do the same thing with the other piece of dough. Okay, real simple. Get it folded out. Now it's getting softer, so it's gonna get a little bit harder to deal with. So you've gotta work quickly, okay? So make sure you flour your bench. Here we go. And then you want to start rolling it out. I really enjoy this process of making this food, or this dish. I enjoy making all food. I enjoy eating all food. People don't think I do because I'm so into fitness, but I really do love being in the kitchen. I'm hopeful that I can share these things or continue to share them with my kids, pass on the recipes. It's really, really important. So, and my mom wasn't a big cook. She was really busy when we were growing up. She was raising us and working, but I really found my love for cooking when I was raising kids. So you want to keep going. Remember, you want to keep getting it to the size of your pan, so rolling from the center. And my mom's mom wasn't a big cook at all. She had like a few things that she would make us that we loved, but she wasn't a big cook. So anyhow, so again, bring your pan, see how it looks. Mine's getting there. Now I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, really simple. So once it's all measured out, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect because you can kind of pull it to work for you. Okay, so I brought the pan over there. Lift it up and cover your dough. Okay, see that? And then you want to pull the sides to meet the bottom side, and you want to crimp the two sides together. Okay, so you find the bottom piece and kind of just crimp it. I'm going to try and tilt this camera. That was unprofessional. Okay, so you want to crimp. See, I'm taking the bottom up and I'm folding the top, and I'm crimping it together. Okay, like you would the crust of a pie maybe, but there's no pretty way to this. You just want to just crimp the two. So I take the top, I fold it over the bottom, and I just go around and around, all the way around the edge. Here we go. Can you see that, how I'm doing that? See, I'm pulling this top down, meeting the bottom. So just continue to do that all the way around, and make sure all the noodles and the cheese and everything's tucked into this little package of goodness. You can, whoops, look, one got away. You can squeeze them together. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just want to get, you just want to make sure it's like a sealed package. Okay. So I'm almost done. We'll do that and we'll meet you back. All right. So you can see it's all crimped up like a little package in there. It's kind of a little bit smaller now than the pan itself, but that's okay. Take one egg, crack it into your pan, your bowl, get it mixed up, okay? Then you want to go ahead and you want to egg wash, or put this egg mixture over your awesome concoction that you just made. Here we go. So I just again use my hands. You don't have to. And I make sure I get it all the way around on top of it. Okay, so just get that covered with the egg. It's just an egg. It's not going to hurt anybody. This way you know that it's getting fully covered. After that, I've got this mixture here. I'm going to show you, and we're about done. My mom makes this and gives this to us all the time. That's how often we make this dish in our family. She has it labeled Armenian seed. It is sesame seeds and black seeds. They're not poppy seeds, they're called black seeds. So that's what's on here. If you can just find sesame seeds, that's fine. A lot of times I'll divide this in half or a little quarter for Devin, and I won't put anything but the sesame seeds. Sometimes I'll leave no seeds, I'll have nothing because there's no telling what he'll want. But today, I'm gonna sprinkle all of these seeds on top. So you just go ahead and sprinkle your seed mixture on top. And I'm telling you guys, this is I shouldn't even be giving you this recipe. You should feel very special. This is a family secret. Anyhow, but I do love making it. I do think about my family when I'm making it. So that's good, It's good. Good thoughts. So anyways, that's it. The last step that you want to do, and I'm looking for a knife, is you want to cut slits in it. So I just do like 3 slits, just tiny little slits in here so that it kind of can breathe and the puff pastry kind of does its thing. It's so good. I cannot wait for you guys to try it. It's gonna go in the oven for 350, at 350 for about 45 minutes. And you wanna check it, make sure it's getting golden brown. And you may find that it's not salty enough for you. So next time you wanna add a little bit of more salt. I don't tend to salt heavy in our family, so you can adjust that as you go. But I'm really excited for you guys to try this. I'm gonna throw it in the oven and we'll see what happens. Okay, I got it out of the oven. It's golden brown. It's perfect. It looks and smells delicious. You want to go ahead and cut it up in little squares, however big, small you want to do. You do want to wait about 10-15 minutes before doing that, before cutting it. Let it sit. Do let me know what you guys think. If you make it, post a picture. If you have any questions, reach out and ask me. Like I said, this is one of our favorites in our family. It's a tradition. We make it all the time. My kids have made it with me. Just a great, easy recipe. And you can serve this with a side salad or some green beans, whatever you want. You can do it as an appetizer, as a full meal. You do whatever you want. Anyhow, let me know how you like it. Thanks.